Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. So today we are going to be doing another preparing for Dokkan Battlefield video because, you know, every single time your boy does, 1,000 stone summons or whatever, I always pull a couple of new units that I then, will have to awaken. Plus a bunch of other units I've been waiting on for a while. Believe it or not, I still have, 2 dozen or so units I think I need to Dokkan awaken. We are going to be working with a theme today, however, and that is actually units that fall under the Majin Buu Saga arc category. So we'll start with this Super Saiyan 2 Goku right here. This guy is actually pretty good. When he was first released, I would say he was... See, here's the thing. He came out in a time when, based upon like how high leader skills were, he wasn't as useful as he could have been. Because back in the day, back when we were running, 70% leader skills or even, SDR Gogeta days, these support units weren't really that big a deal. Nowadays, he's actually really good. The only problem for this Goku is there are several physical support units who have since been released who are superior to him. So this is Shattering Strike Super Saiyan 2 Goku. His leader skill is STR and physical types, HP, attack, and defense 30%. His super attack is the Super Kamehameha, which does supreme damage to enemy. His passive skill is Superior Strength, which is key to an attack 20% for all allies. Now again, that's pretty good. The problem is there has since been a deluge. Physical, by far, has the most support units. There's this Super Saiyan 2 Goku, the adult Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, we have the Pan, we have the adult, Kai clothing Gohan, there's the Super Saiyan God Goku, the Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, there's the Father-Son Gallic Gun Rage Trunks. Like, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many good physical support units, and they're all pretty much better than this Goku. Although I always do like the support units who have key and like attack and defense better than just the unit who will have like attack or defense. But like the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, for example, he gives just such an overwhelmingly high number that I do think it's very good to have him say over this Goku or something like that. So Goku's links are Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, and Shattering the Limit. Now, the one good thing this Goku, of course, does have is he does have Shattering the Limit, which will help him, like with LR Trunks. He does have Prepare for Battle as well, plus the 2 key he'll get from his passive. So he could supply a unit like LR Trunks with quite a bit of key, making him pretty useful. Last thing, of course, he does have is the Majin Buu Saga or Majin Buu Arc category. All of the units we're going to be Dokkan Awakening today actually do have this Majin Buu Saga category. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next unit, which is actually a Dokkan Fest exclusive unit. One I would say that for the most part is pretty bad. It's very difficult to get this guy's passive to go off. Let's go ahead and awaken him. The physical Dokkan Fest Kid BUU here. Now, if you can get this guy's passive to go off, he will be incredibly powerful, but it's way more difficult than you think to keep this guy's passive active in the toughest of fights. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. Where you at, Kid BUU? Where the F is you at? Oh, there he is right there. Alright, so this is Heartless Destruction. BUU slash Kid or BUU slash Pure. Kid BUU, Majin Buu Pure, whatever you want to call it. It's Pure BUU in the Japanese version, by the way. Kid BUU is the basically dubbed version. So his leader skill is Allies attack increases up to a max of 50%. Based upon the amount of HP you have left. So obviously that is a fossil leader skill from a long since past age, and it is not very good at all. His super attack is the Planet Burst, which does supreme damage and lowers defense, so not really that good. And his passive skill, Planetary Destruction. attack and defense 50% for all allies when HP is 80% or above. Now, number one, this guy still has like the biggest defense, like the biggest increase, like passive of like any unit you could basically get. The 50% is huge, but 80% is a really, really difficult threshold to maintain. Like that, a lot of people don't like Tech Gold and Frieza because of his 50% HP restriction. This guy has an 80% HP restriction. So I am not a fan of this guy. I'll try him out sometimes, but for the most part, nah, fam. Just no. Now, I will say, on Extreme Physical, that team is so tanky, you know, with Cooler, Omega Shenron, that maybe this guy does have some merit, because you might be able to remain above 80% HP, but I don't know. I'd rather run like Super Android 17 than this guy. His links are Majin, Brutal Beatdown, More Than Meets the Eye, Big Bad Bosses, Infinite Regeneration, Fierce Battle, and The Wall Standing Tall. The biggest problem and the reason basically all Kid BUU cards are kind of fodder at this point, and I just hate so much, is the lack of common links. He's got Big Bad Bosses and Fierce Battle, sure, but like, he doesn't have shocking, like, they could have given this fucker shocking speed. Like, if only Kid BUU units had shocking speed, they would be so much better. I'm telling y'all, just that 2 key difference makes such a big deal and really would help a unit like this or AGL Kid BUU. It's a shame, really. Now, he does have 2 different leader skills. He has, of course, 2 different categories, excuse me. He has the Revived Warrior category, and then over here we have the Majin Buu Saga category. So now we're starting to get to a number of categories here where a lot of units are on at least one category or maybe even multiple. I would say one of the biggest notable exceptions at this point in the game's life cycle is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who is one of the only, like, units I could, like, just looking at this, who is not on some sort of category. Like, you know, let's see. Super Saiyan 3 Broly is not on one. Super 17 is not on one. So there's some units here, but, you know, a good amount are now on categories. And a lot of them are on multiple, which is fun. There's so many different fun teams you can make now with the categories. I do really like the categories. And they actually have not, besides Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the Shadow Dragon arc team, which there's no reason they can't just add him on there. I mean, let's be real here. Outside of that, all of the categories have made sense. Like, they haven't been extra stingy just to fuck people over. Like, a big thing was we weren't sure if Tech Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku was going to be on the Majin Buu arc category, but they did put him in. So, and they put a lot of the Broly movie cards in as well, including the Bio Broly cards. So, you know, they're not stingy at all. The notable exception being Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I guess because they didn't want to unbalance the Shadow Dragon arc team from the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Fusion team, but it's like, fam, I'm sorry, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku needs to be on that category, and that category, I think, does need a little bit of a buff, and that would be great. So the next unit that we are going to be go ahead and Dokkan Awakening is this farmable Super Saiyan Vegeta. You can farm this guy from the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta event, and when you Dokkan Awaken him, he actually becomes Angel Super Saiyan Vegeta. Now, what's funny is that SR right there is not on a category, but once he awakens to Angel Vegeta, he is actually on a category at that point. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. A lot of people really like this unit for like the LR Frieza grind. Me, not so much. I'm not as big a fan of this guy as other people are. We'll go over it. So this is Return from the Dark Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel. His leader skill is all types attack 20%. His super attack is the Final Flash, which does extreme damage to enemy, which of course, you know, might be a little annoying if we're talking about, you know, like a unit, a summonable unit, but he is mainly a free-to-play unit for like LR Frieza or Goku events, so this isn't really that bad. But here's what I don't like. Passive skill, Path to Victory. Attack and defense 50% when HP is 50% or below. In my opinion, that is incredibly difficult to maintain. 50% or below, you're just not gonna have that very often, I think, like in those LR Frieza and Goku fights. So this guy's passive is mostly worthless, basically, whenever you would want to use him. So not a fan of this guy whatsoever. Again, a lot of people like to use him, but me, not so much. His links are Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Prodigies, Royal Lineage, and Formidable Enemy. So he has a lot of the common, you know, like Vegeta or Saiyan links that you'd expect. No Prepare for Battle, though, which I guess is a shame in case you wanted to run him on some sort of, like, EGL team just to, you know, fuck around, but whatever. Last two things, of course, he does have is he has the Revived Warrior category, which makes a lot of sense. He literally is a Revived Warrior, being, you know, Angel Vegeta there. And he also, of course, is in the Majin Buu Saga category, because all the units we're awakening today are in that category. So all in all, not the best unit, but you could do something with him. And the last unit we're going to be awakening here, again, I just want to point this out. I talk about it all the time. The reason I do this with a lot of these units, we'll see her right here, this Videl right here. I am going to awaken her into Great Saiyan Man number 2, and I'm going to hold on to this card so that that little slot where she was on the Dokkan Awakenings tab is moved to the bottom of the list. And when when LR King Piccolo comes out tomorrow and I want to see how to awaken him to LR status, I don't have to scroll through her. I'll always explain this over and over again, so you guys might understand why I have some, you know, maybe not great units like this. So I did finally get her to SA10. Of course, that is like the big thing. I was waiting to get her to SA10 before I went and awakened her, and now that I finally did that, let's go ahead and do this. Now, what's funny is I actually spent the last several hours grinding out her super attack. There is a SSR Videl that is farmable from the Broly movie event, story event. Problem is her drop rate is about 9 to 10%, which is about the same rate that LR Goku and LR Frieza drop on their respective stage 4s. And I just had really bad luck. I got one to drop. This Videl was at SA9. I got one to drop, fed it in, and it didn't work. Then it took me another 2.5 hours before another one dropped, and then that one worked. So finally, I was able to awaken her, and now I've got both of the Great Saiyan Man number 2s awakened. I got the Kid Chi-Chi's awakened, Kid Krillin. All these units, no longer will I have to look at them in the Dokkan Awakening tab. See, real quick, we'll head over here, and the Great Saiyan Man 2, the Videl, is now gone. So now, later on, when I'm scrolling down, that is one less thing that I have to scroll by, because at this point, I've cut a big chunk of this list out, but there still is a lot of stuff in here that, like, I don't have that I'm going to have to scroll by. It's just, you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at Videl, and then at that point, we will go ahead and finish up for today. Here she is. So this is Goddess of Peace, Great Saiyan Man 2. Her leader skill is all types attack 25%. Her super attack is the Justice Eagle, which does huge damage and greatly lowers defense. So at least she greatly lowers defense. Her passive skill is Power of Love, which is all types attack plus 1,000. Yikes. Plus 1,000 is not a big deal there. Her links are Blazing Battle, Infighter, Battlefield Diva, Hero of Justice, Signature Pose, Patrol, and Supreme Power. So, hey, she does have that Infighter link with SCR Ultimate Gohan, huh? And, of course, the last thing is she does have 2 categories. She has the Peppy Gals, Peachy Gals, Spunky Girls, Sexy Girls, whatever you want to call it, she has the girl category, which I talked about before is kind of odd considering she's completely covered up. I guess Roshi's just good at spotting them curvy bodies, what can I say? And then also she does, of course, have the Majin Buu Saga art category, which is interesting because this Videl does not really... Well, does she? No, she does. She does actually appear at the very like last couple seconds of the Buu Saga, and she's also in the Tapion Hirudegarn movie as well. But regardless, Great Saiyan Man 2, there she is. A big chunk of units have been awakened. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.